Hello everyone, this is Bridget, and today we're just doing a little aerial silk warm-up for you at home if you have a silk of your own, to follow along and get you all nice and warmed up for the tricks you want to try and pull. So without further ado, coming to the back of your silk, I'm just going to take the silk shoulder width apart and bending forward, hinging at those hips, sort of melting our heart towards the floor, and swaying the hands and arms side to side. A little lateral stretch there. Awesome. And on your next exhale, coming to stillness, rising up, and bringing our arms nice and wide, stepping forward through our silk, and stepping back. And do that a few more times, getting into the shoulders here. Moving with your own breath. Very nice. And one more time, coming forward, letting that silk go. And we're gonna take our hands nice and high, thumbs forward, and our elbows come to the back. We're gonna step back, leaning on our silk, coming into Tadasana. Have your arms by your sides or on your silk, or even behind the back. And we're just going to, once again, go side to side. And bringing your hands onto your silk, stepping forward a little bit, coming into chair. And taking our left foot into the chest, extend the right leg. And bending that right leg, sending that left leg behind us, coming into a crescent. And taking our hands off of our silk, reaching for the sky, palms face each other. And coming back into chair, left leg comes into the chest, right leg extends long, and place that left leg down, exchanging it for the right. Left leg extends nice and long. Before we send that right leg back, left leg bends. And taking our hands off of our silk, reaching for the sky, palms face each other. We use the silk as an assist, but when we don't need it, we don't have to use it. And bringing our hands back onto the silk, settling in, raising the right knee to the chest, extending the left. And setting them both down, chair pose. Grip firmly with your hands and take one knee to the chest and the other knee to the chest, and stay here for a few breaths, working on our core. You can probably hear me shaking. That is good. Working our core here. Oh yeah. And stepping it down. Nice. Extending the legs, Tadasana. Maybe stepping back. And then we're gonna bend the knees and come forward. Nice. Not really dipping or hinging. Keeping the spine and pelvis neutral, looking somewhere ahead of you. And we're gonna come back, bending knees, And then extend Tadasana. You can have your hands behind your head. Taking the hands away from your head to the outside. We're going to come forward once more. Awesome. Really breathing into your Ujjayi breath here. And coming back. Tadasana. And this time we're going to bend the left leg so that we come out to the side. And we straighten it, come back, Tadasana, hips forward, and bend the right knee, coming to the right side, and straightening it again, Tadasana, bending the left, and then maybe coming forward on the toes, coming into that Superman. You can also extend your arms overhead and maybe come bending the right leg, coming back nice and slow and controlled, Tadasana. Bending the right leg, circling, coming onto the toes, and bending the left leg, coming back, Tadasana. Go ahead and do that one more time on this side. And go one more on the left side. Awesome. Grab hold of your silks, bend your knees, stand up. Take the silk out in front of you. So our thumbs are still facing forward. We're getting into like a little bit of a wrist lock here. And we're gonna bend those knees again. Come forward. And sort of go all the way down until your silk is shoulder width. And then either stay here or bend your knees and pull yourself up and come right back down. Pull up and right back down. Exhale, pull, and inhale down. Exhale, and inhale back down. One more, exhale, and inhale back down. And slide all the way till your butt touches the ground. Inhale, come on up to seated. Just taking a second here without the silk. And then we're gonna use our silk however you like to come up to standing. Taking the silk shoulder width apart. Gonna step our left leg through so that our leg is resting on the silk. You can widen the silk if that's a little pinchy. Hold on to your silks and come forward on the toes. You can take the hands overhead, really sinking into this crescent, staying balanced. Only using the silk when you need it. You can flex or point. Stay nice and active and bring that left hand through, spinning the right heel down, coming into warrior two, looking to that left hand. Flex or point the toe or foint. Fointing is also fun. And the option to also take that left big toe if you're feeling nice and stretchy. And slowly coming out, grabbing onto your silks, stepping out, And stepping right back in with the right leg. Grabbing onto your poles, coming forward on the toes. Flex point or foint. Trying not to use the silk, working on our balance. And bringing that right hand through, left heel spirals down, looking towards that right hand. Flex point or foint. Keeping those shoulders nice and relaxed. And if you would like, you can grab your big toe. And coming back the same way you came in, grabbing onto those poles before we take that foot out. Awesome. Gonna come into like a little half moon flow. So make sure you are standing underneath your carabiners, sending the silk long in front of you, hinging at the hips, just like we did earlier. Taking that left leg and sending it back behind you, coming out as if you were a T without the silk. And shifting the weight back so that you're relying on the silk a little bit less. Maybe you can even raise the silk a little bit. Ooh, challenge yourself here. Micro bend in that right knee. Awesome. Right hand comes down to the bottom, the very bottom of the silk. Left hand comes up. Rotate to face the whole body to the left side of the room. Trying not to rely on the silk here, but if you need to, that's totally fine. Maybe that left arm comes out of the silk. And bring it back down, same way you came in through warrior three, nice and strong. And actually, we're not done yet. So left hand comes to the bottom of the silk, right hand comes up for a revolved warrior. Or sorry, a revolved half moon. Right hand maybe come off of the silk. And coming out the same way you came in, warrior three, step that left foot down. Awesome. Wiggle something out here. And then take that left foot, ground it into the ground, and take that right foot long behind you, warrior three. Really extend as if you're being pulled in opposite directions. And then take that left hand to the bottom of the silk, right hand raises, and whole body faces the right side of the room. Maybe that right hand comes off of the silk. Awesome. Nice and strong. We're gonna take that right hand down. And right hand comes to the bottom of the silk. Left hand comes up, revolved half moon. Find your balance here. And come back. Warrior three, nice and strong. You're gonna step that right foot down. And shake it out. And shake it out. Stepping the left foot into the silk with the silk on our arch only. take the arms nice and high, grab hold, and do a couple of shoulder shrugs here. So like opposite of shrugs, really. So we're gonna start with a shrug and then shoulders back and down. Shrug, shoulders back and down, really pulling our weight up as if we're gonna lift off and take off. Do a couple more. 3 and 2. And on the last one, we're gonna come all the way up to standing. Awesome. And then taking that right leg, bending it, and then so that our foot is on the opposite side and our knee is on the other side. Going to sit all the way down so that our ankle, our right ankle is on the silk. Take the left leg out in front, plant it on the ground, flexing the right foot so that we have our silk behind us in our right foot. Taking our silk at our shoulder height with our thumbs towards us. We're gonna come into dancer, so slowly send the body down, kicking into the fabric. Opening up here. Nice deep breaths, finding some balance. And come on out. Taking the silk in front of you, do the other side. So take that right foot onto the silk. Silk comes to the arch of the foot, making sure we're standing under the carabiners, shrugging our shoulders, and then using them to pull us up all the way to standing. Taking that left knee to bend. Ankle can connect with the silk. I'm gonna bend into that right leg, coming all the way down to seated. Taking that right leg out, planting it on the floor, flexing the left foot to keep that silk with us. Taking the arms overhead, grabbing onto the silk, and other side. Kicking into the fabric, pulling the body down. Finding some stability, some focus. Man. And coming out, stepping out. Okay, grab your silk behind you. Bring it in front. Bring them like so. Take them to your hips. They should be about at your hip bones. And you're gonna come up on your toes and fold forward so that your silk is in the crease of your hip. So below your hip bone. And then you're gonna fold forward and come into down dog. So your hands are on the floor and your feet are probably not on the floor, but they're nice and close to the floor. What we don't want to do is straighten our legs yet, okay? So we want to keep them nice and heavy to the floor, and maybe our hands can come off the floor. As we do this, let's widen our legs and arch our back looking up. So this is really active down dog. It's really not a down dog at all. And bring your left hand to anywhere on the outside of that right leg. And then twisting all the way to the right. Twisting with every vertebrae of your spine. Inhale. And exhale. Coming back to center, arching that back, legs come wide, and bringing that right hand to the left leg, somewhere on the outside of that left leg, and twisting all the way to the left, reaching that arm all the way to the left, looking to the left, inhale, and exhale. Bringing it back to center, planting those hands, coming back to standing, planting those feet, rolling all the way up. And if you ever get dizzy, take your heart below, or your head below your heart for a brief moment, and then come back up. So shaking out your fabric so that it becomes a hammock once again. You're gonna take your left leg and step it in and pull the edge of the fabric up like you're putting on some pants, all the way to your butt, where the thigh meets the butt. Okay, nice and secure, bending that left knee. You can take the fabric up here and slide your hands down so you can see. Then we're gonna come forward on that bottom toe so you can feel a stretch. And if this is not enough for you, you can always take that right ankle on top of the left knee and coming into a sort of version of fire log. Ooh. Option to also bring the elbows through for a little bit more security. And you can choose a mudra of your choice. And coming out the same way we came in, taking the fabric, coming through, stepping that right foot down, and left foot comes out. Shaking out the fabric, other side. Stepping that right foot in, pull your pants up to the thut. Put your thut pants on, bending that right leg so the heel comes to the left hip, and taking those hands up nice and high, sliding them down so you can see, coming forward on the toes. If this is enough, then you can totally stay here. That's wonderful. And if it's not, then you can take that left foot, cross it over, sliding, sneaking your hands through, your elbows through, and doing a mudra of your choice in fire log. And coming out, same way you came in, extending the leg and coming out. Stepping in front of your fabric, doing a little inversion before we leave, taking hold of your poles, slide down to your shoulder height, and then sink down until your low back, you might have to readjust, your low back is on the silk. Take the hands nice and high. Take one leg out, one knee out to the side, the other knee out to the side, extend the legs and reach back. And your hands can come to the floor if you need that extra stability, or they can come out to side or behind your back, whatever feels good for you. If it's pinchy, you can take your feet and hook them around the fabric. You can even extend them in that hooked position. And coming out the same way you came in, extending the legs, grabbing onto your fabric, and coming out. Awesome. If that is too much on your low back, you can totally, if it's too pinchy, you can take your fabric into the hammock again and take your thumbs on the inside of your fabric, fingers outside, and just hop in. Taking your hands to the back, taking your thumbs on the inside once again, so that you have your you have a backrest almost. And then the same thing, grabbing the entire silk about shoulder height and taking those knees wide, extending the legs wide, coming into your inversion and taking the feet to hook and lock on the inside of your mat, or your silks. And again, you can have your hands on the ground or anywhere you like. I like to grab my elbows. We're coming to reverse prayer. You can also extend the legs, extend the hands if you want to work on your handstands, and just press into the hands, into the shoulders, and work on your handstands. Coming back out, sending the knees nice and wide, sending the legs wide. Reach up for your fabric and pull yourself up. Stepping down. If you want to keep playing, that is totally up to you. But if you liked that and you just want to go into Shavasana, go ahead. You can come to sit like you did before. And then lay, make sure you have enough fabric to lay back on. And just sort of inch your way back, heels into the fabric until you're in a caterpillar-like cocoon. And just sort of wiggle it out here. You can have your arms out of the silk or across your chest. Coming to stillness. Taking a nice deep breath. Feeling in the nice gentle rock of your hammock. Allowing it to soothe you. Feeling our blood pumping a little bit more, our joints a little bit more open. Our body just functioning a little bit better. And our mind a little bit more warmed up, a little bit more creative, a little bit more trusting. Notice any tension that you're holding on to. And just allow it to soften. Maybe in the jaw or the eyes, the neck, the shoulders, the hips, feet, hands. Just breathe a little bit of light and love and softness into them. Start to bring your awareness back to the room. Maybe lick your lips, lick your teeth, move your jaw. Bring a little bit of movement to your fingertips, to your toes. And maybe wiggle left and right like a little caterpillar. Taking your hands onto either side of your fabric, reluctantly pulling yourself up to seated. Knees can bend and feet can fall out of the fabric. Having a soft gaze in front of you. Maybe taking your hands to heart center in your little cocoon, still nice and safe. I invite you to feel gratitude for something, anything. I'm grateful for all of you who joined me in this practice today, and I hope to see you again soon. Namaste. Okay, let's go.